Good afternoon and welcome to the daily business update here at India's first post-cable network, The Big Scope. And today we're going to talk about Great Britain.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk
and
about how
Indian students.
how Indian students are really not getting to Great Britain anytime soon.
So the last 1 week, an interesting development has happened in terms of the visas which are given out to Indian students. Now, the UK government specifically has said there will be no relaxed visa rules, especially for India. And in the list of relaxed countries, you won't believe, are countries like Maldives, countries like Thailand, countries like China. So
Bahrain, Serbia, countries that barely have any trade agreements with Britain.
And this is just 3 months after an entire delegation from the Prime Minister's office landed up in the UK. And also there have been talks on bringing so many refugees from there. So what's with this new UK rule, relaxed visa rules? And why single out India?
No, the funny thing about all of this is, before we get into that, is at the same time, literally the same discussion in their house, they tabled things saying the visa rules for doctors are going to be laxed. So no Indian
doctors and nurses, by the way.
Yeah. So that means that now that rules for doctors are laxing, that means there can be more IT professionals from India, more engineers from India. So while professionals from India are actually getting a bit of a boost, in the exact same bill, they're saying Indian students are still going to have very strict regulations for visas.
So when they say strict regulations and when they say reducing the number of relegation, basically means if you had to give some 8 documents to get a student visa, now the UK government says to countries like China or Thailand, they say you just have to give us 4 documents. Yeah. But for India, the number of documents go up. So it's more stricter for Indian students in terms of get a visa.
So Indians still have to give every document under the earth. I mean, stuff like English proficiency. They came to India, ruled for 400 years, so we know a little bit of English. But places like Bahrain, Serbia, it's not their first language for obvious reasons. But their English proficiency it's not a test they need to do anymore.
And imagine people from Serbia don't have to have an English test for, say, to be a student in the United Kingdom. And not only this, if you look at, if you just put this new ruling aside, if you look at students in the United Kingdom, say you do a graduation for 3 years, whatever, 4 years for that matter, you'll just have 6 months after that to get a job. Yeah. And in those 6 months, if you don't get a job, you have to leave the country. And that's a law.
And the funny thing about all this is happening in the middle of these Brexit negotiations, right? Absolutely. So England is leaving Europe and they're trying to get better ties with the old Commonwealth countries.
Absolutely.
So it's funny that the opposition party in England have come out immediately and said, this is an act of self-harm. It's a kick in the teeth to New Delhi. I mean, these are actual quotes.
Yeah. So, as you say, with the parliament in the United Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, they're stuck in this weird middle ground of, we're leaving Europe, so we need new friends. So we need to give them, jobs for IT professionals, doctors, nurses.
This is exactly not how you make new friends.
And at the same time, they've got to also suck up to America, suck up to this idea of immigration needs to be regulated. Oh, people are complaining too much, so they've got to, restrict visas.
Absolutely.
So this is the weird solution that they've come up with. I'm not sure why India has been targeted.
Exactly, and it's kind of. So there are two very important elements over there. I mean, there was an entire delegation from the Prime Minister's office which had gone to the United Kingdom around February sometime, and India was told, and I'm told, India was told to sign a MOU with the United Kingdom government in terms of taking a lot of illegal Indian immigrants back to India. The Indian leadership over there decided not to sign that MOU. Obviously. So some say in the UK Parliament this is a result of that. Yeah. Because you are not taking back your illegal immigrants, this is what we do to you.
No, but the funny thing about all this is, right, at the same time, UK also has a bunch of Indians who are wanted for extradition. So Vijay Mallya is the most high-profile case. Nirav Modi is suspected to be in Britain. Exactly. These guys are sitting there with political asylum. And, the whole extradition case is still happening with Mallya. So while Britain is refusing to send back the citizens we want, they're refusing to take the citizens that want to go there.
It's a weird situation. Yeah, and all of that, since you mentioned Brexit, if you look at now, on one hand, UK needs new friends because they're coming out of the entire Eurozone thing. They need new friends to boost up the economy. They need new people to work in their ecosystem, whether it's an IT employer, so many other industries. On the other hand, smartly, their neighbors, which is Ireland, now they're playing a very smart game in all of this. They said, okay, fine, United Kingdom, you want to get out of, this is the entire Brexit, then you want to get out of Europe. So Ireland has been heavily promoting Ireland and come to Ireland, work here, build here, to India, to Thailand, and all countries in Asia. Ireland Development Authority has made trips to India so many times in the last 1 year, and they made it very clear, very practical enough decision.
They're open about it. We need friends.
Absolutely.
Come over. So, and Ireland is still in Europe.
Absolutely.
It's not like Britain where they've lost their friends.
So UK, which was like, if for an industry from a companies over here who wants to have, who has customers in Europe, UK was their ground, where all their back office were there. For now, Ireland wants to develop the same. So what I want to say is, this also means there will be more skilled people going not to UK but to Ireland, because there are more industries being set up over there.
Now, also, the funny thing of all of this is the relaxed regulations for doctors and whatnot. Yeah. The only reason it's happening is because the UK's medical service, the NHS, is kind of falling apart because of all the European doctors who left after Brexit.
Yes.
So it's more out of necessity than goodwill.
Absolutely.
So and the weird thing is they've tried to defend this. They've said, no, listen, we still give a lot of visas to Indians. 90% of Indians who apply get a visa. But the fact of the matter is they may be throwing out these favorable statistics, but a number of Indians who applied to UK in the last year was 16,000.
Yeah.
Number of Indians who applied to Canada was 100,000.
100,000, yeah.
Now, yes, Canada is a lot bigger, but UK has got more prestigious educational institutions.
Absolutely. And this is also, if you take US into consideration, even after President Donald Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric, the number of students going to the United States has not dropped. Number of students going to the Ivy League institutions has not dropped. It has increased by a marginal 2% if you go by the numbers. Point is, if you want to sum it up.
The funny thing is, universities in Britain need money. Their costs are going up. They're skyrocketing. They've not got too many European students anymore.
Or, for example,
they've not got people in England to go anymore.
If you leave England side and in this entire scenario, go way back all the way. We're talking to a gentleman from Japan, started from Japan earlier in the day, Progate, a coding startup. You look at what's happening in Japan. Japan badly needs skilled IT individuals. That's why, look at what happened 4 months ago. They came down to India. They came down specifically to Bangalore. They signed an MOU with the Karnataka government, said, what, I need IT folks from here to come to Japan. I'll give you citizenship. We need skilled IT people. It's a similar thing. If you're doing things like that, at the end of the day, you'll need skilled resources over there, and you will not have it in 5 or 10 years. So, to Andrew, what do you think? So, is all of this a result of Brexit?
I think it's a result of a combination of this new government in Britain, or the relatively new government in Britain. They have to be these hard right-wing guys, right? Or center right-wing. They've got to make sure America's happy. They've got to make sure Europe's happy. They don't take in too many people from developing nations. But at the same time, they still need friends, and they've been talking about the Commonwealth as the replacement for Europe.
This is not 1970, this is 2018. Commonwealth has lost the kind of
South Africa went after the apartheid scandal. So you've got Australia, Canada and India. These are the big countries in the Commonwealth.
In terms of economies of scale.
People who can provide the resources that England needs.
Absolutely.
And you're shutting out one of them. And you're not just shutting out, you're insulting one of them. Because think about it, if you're a kid right now, right? You're saying, I need to apply to a college. Do I go to UK? Do I go to USA? Do I go to Australia? Do I go to Canada? Now here, the UK guys are deliberately giving you more regulations to pass, more hurdles to jumps.
Absolutely.
It's insulting as an Indian.
And that is where smart countries, I would put it this way, smart neighbors like Ireland saying, you know what, there is education over here, there are jobs over here, the Indian IT companies are setting up their centers over. It's happened. Tech Mahindra and folks, they've all set up centers back in Ireland. So come here because we are the new gateway to Europe. So UK really needs to think where they want, what they want to do, or what's their new image going to be post-Brexit for the next 20, 30 years.
They've reached a point where even the Brexit campaigners like Nigel Farage are coming out and saying Brexit wasn't really a good idea. So they really need to figure out what they're doing. And whatever they're doing, India should be a big part of it, because we're an ally that has forgiven them for 400 years of hurt.
Absolutely.
But I don't think they'll be happy with student visas not being given.
I'm really not sure about the 400 years. I'll probably discuss it off record. But so that's that on today's show in terms of UK, Brexit, and what it means for visas and Indian students. Until next time, we come out with yet another topic from somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
I'm Aritra.
And I'm Taratra.